Across ecosystems and the urban-rural divide, invasive species can seriously disrupt ecosystem health and productivity. As a natural resource manager, you choose from a variety of invasive species management and prevention approaches, all of which are more successful with public support. However, public perceptions of invasive species management are not well understood. This is a problem for successful management because there may be limits on the social acceptance of natural disturbances. For example, as a manager, large canopy gaps, open patches, or rows of tree tubes may represent a future forest to you. However, the public may find these gaps, cuts, and tubes unacceptable and decrease not only their support for management, but also their forest visits. This is also a problem as visitors provide economic benefits and personally benefit from outdoor recreation and nature-based tourism. The public may be more receptive to approaches they have information about. Therefore, providing effective information is essential. While intuitively it seems that information would influence management acceptance, research results are mixed. Theory tells us that the more time spent elaborating on messages, the more persuasive they will be, but such tenets remain untested in invasive species management. To fill this gap, we merged research on social perceptions and silvicultural strategies so you as a natural resource manager can be more effective communicating and better supported in your invasive species management. Our research questions compared the acceptability of select forest management approaches in response to invasive species and the impact of novel informational approaches on the acceptability of this management, as well as visitors' intention to return to a site. We hypothesized that as engagement increased, both the acceptability from management would increase, as would intentions to visit forested sites. Our test was situated in the context of emerald ash borer, which you likely know is one of the most destructive North American pests since it was first identified in the mid-1990s. A variety of methods exist to manage ash forests in response to emerald ash borer. Among them, we focused on regeneration harvests that can promote non-ash species. These harvests include complete harvests with natural regeneration, select harvests with natural regeneration, select harvests with planted trees. Of course, doing nothing was included as a viable management alternative. We surveyed visitors on site in select Minnesota state parks, asked them about the acceptability of these approaches in text form, and then showed them photos of a resulting landscape and asked if they would visit such a site. We then systematically selected them to receive information about these approaches through either a typical trail sign, an augmented reality experience including videos and voice.
Once the tree is tall and strong enough to survive without their protection, the tubes will be removed.
Or a more engaging and immersive virtual reality experience with video and voice. We compared visitor acceptability and visit intentions across these increasingly engaging communication mediums. So what did we find? Well, in terms of management acceptability, all of the harvesting approaches were acceptable, and inaction was unacceptable. Similarly, the majority intended to visit all of the landscapes resulting from the harvested approaches. In terms of the engaging communications, our testing revealed acceptability. Any information influenced acceptability of forest harvesting in the expected directions, increasing acceptability of harvesting and decreasing acceptability of doing nothing. In areas where visitors are dominant, like parks, our sign design, the simple photos and text, influence the acceptability of forest harvesting in response to emerald ash borer. In areas where the natural landscape dominates, like state and federal forests, virtual reality influenced the acceptability of approaches. Augmented reality did not influence the acceptability of any approaches, and in terms of visit intentions, any information increased visit intention to areas with just one of the 4 approaches, select harvest with planted trees. So what does this mean? Well, our research supports communication efforts for the acceptance of invasive species management, and we suggest successful managers should act, AICT, act in response to the emerald ash borer. Inform visitors and other interested parties about what action is taken and why. Consider the context of where management is happening for communication decisions, and employ technology when needed, remaining judicious in investment decisions. In this case, photos were enough for most forested management treatments in visitor-dominated areas, but virtual reality was best to increase acceptance in natural areas when harvesting was used. With action, you can feel more confident about your actions, be more effective in your communication efforts, and be greater stewards of increasingly scarce resources, investing in advanced communication efforts when necessary. Read more about our work at the project website, where you'll find links to articles with more details. Our photos, videos, and voice files are located at the University of Minnesota Digital Repository and are also available at the website you see listed. We thank the Minnesota Invasive Terrestrial Plants and Pests Center for funding that was distributed through the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund as recommended by the Legislative Citizen Commission on Minnesota Resources.